John was really instrumental in the early days of the studio. Here's some of the work he's done here.
You work 2 jobs and you pay the rent, so I can write us the next big hit. A lonely song in a motor inn.
I don't know who I ever was to you.
How's it feel to be the apple core and the peel? Swing low.
All right, that's a great sampling of music there. Hey, John.
Yeah, quite a bit of time represented there.
Yeah, you've been affiliated with this studio for a long time. In fact, you were at like the very first Bring Your Song.
Yes.
Can you talk about that night? Take us back to that.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was an event happening. I was kind of just looking to meet Ron, and a friend of mine told me to swing by his house because musicians were kind of coming and going and creative people. And yeah, it was about an hour before the event started. And there was just, like Ron was talking about, instant chemistry. The more I talked to him, the more I felt kind of a kindred spirit. Like by the time we had talked for hours, I felt like I was looking into this mirror, into my future, and kind of seeing like, I don't know, just a lot of the same ideas played out.
I think your quote
things
was, I'm looking in the mirror 30 years from now and
nothing's changed.
That is so funny.
So yeah, I felt an instant connection with Ron, and I had recorded in studios before with previous projects, and kind of felt like the studios were an intimidating space and a very technical space. I'm not a technical person, like very much a creative, like going by the seat of my pants. And it was kind of cool just to meet Ron and it not feel like that technical overbearing kind of vibe to it. It felt very easy to be a person and be open with your emotions or your trepidations with making music. So yeah, felt like a good fit right off the bat.
Yeah, I was listening a little bit to Warmer Winds. Those are great songs.
Thank
Can you talk a little bit? You recorded parts of that here or the whole thing here?
Yeah, I recorded parts of that here. It was kind of spread out all over the place, like just based on where I was at the time. So about like 4 or 5 different places. It was a very collaborative project. I'd been in a band before, and kind of it just revolved around the 4 of us. We would make these like loud rock songs and play shows together. And then that band sadly just disbanded. There was like, we were doing stuff, and then all of a sudden it wasn't happening. And I had songs, and I had a lot of emotions about that. And it was way different trying to come up with that energy all by myself. So it was constantly like bringing people in, and like trying to create this sound with just all these different people I knew. So that's kind of what's represented on that album, is like everybody I knew musically at the time.
Yeah. I know that Ron tells me that you approach working with artists as an artist first approach. What does that mean? Can you explain that?
Yeah. Finding them in their element, like what makes them unique and comfortable, and adjusting what I do, like, oh, I don't usually do it this way, but they are very much, here right now doing the thing that's special. So how can I accommodate that? I think who the artist is almost is more important than the recording, you
Yeah.
know, so being true to that and aligning yourself with who they are, you know.
That's really important. Like, how is it hard to tune into that, or you right away can kind of pick that up and be like, this is how I know this artist wants to be?
That's a great question. I don't know the science behind that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's kind of, Ron has developed like this initial meeting. So we're not just like, okay, let's get to work, you know, when I first meet you.
Yeah.
There's kind of like talk about their influences, what their goals are with the studio, because everybody has like a different thing they're looking for here, you know? So you try to tune into that and figure out if you're even like the right fit. Because sometimes I feel like, yeah, what I do is not going to help you do what you want to do. But oftentimes it works out. I mean, the people that find this place, I think it attracts a certain kind of artist, and those artists I generally tend to vibe with.
Yeah, I like that. I know your latest project is called Shame Chamber.
Yes.
I want to hear more about that. Can you talk about what's behind that group and your project with that?
Yeah. I had taken some time away from my own music when my wife was starting her coffee shop here in town. So I became a barista, and we were like building out this coffee shop, and then COVID happened, and that was like 8 months into opening.
Wow.
So it really changed a lot of things, made things difficult for our family, and I kind of felt this angst inside, you know, and there wasn't really like a great outlet for that. And I had started getting into music that was more heavy than I used to, like more metal stuff, more punk stuff. And I really wanted to just create loud music at that point, but I couldn't go anywhere. There weren't any shows. So it was sort of like learning how to do that at home. And this wasn't kind of like a thing happening right when COVID started, you know? So like, yeah, Shame Chamber is just born out of a closet off of my bedroom. That was the Shame Chamber. And, excising my, you know, my feelings. And I started playing solo shows as stuff opened up COVID-wise, and then meeting other musicians, and now it's a 5-piece group.
It is.
And we played Porch Rocker. We've toured the East Coast a little bit.
Wow.
And yeah, it's like my main thing that I'm focused on now, writing songs for that, and we're working on our first full-length album.
So the angst is sticking around.
It's sticking around, and it's growing, just based on everything that's happening and the spaces we're in, and meeting like more like punk kids in like basements and stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel that energy, and so it's getting more and more intense every time we play.
I can't wait to hear more from Shame Chamber. So
Yeah.
John, thank you so much. It was so great learning more about you.
Thanks, Amanda.